We have here Bob Leeper. Bob Leeper is the Head of Business Development North America for DST Global Solutions. Bob, thank you very much for coming in today.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me to be here.
Bob, could you give us a little bit more about your role within DST Global Solutions? What are the areas that you're focusing on personally?
So overall, I'm responsible for helping the North American business grow. So working very closely with both existing clients and prospective clients on identifying solutions, helping them understand what DST can provide for them, and then continuing to build out those relationships.
With your experience of dealing with numerous clients, what would you say are their biggest challenges in 2014?
Yes, certainly. I think that's a great question. With DST Innova, we're focused on the investment data management and performance space, so the entire topic at TSAM is right in our wheelhouse. I'd really summarize it in three different areas: transparency, operational efficiency, and client service. And we're seeing that across the board. So transparency is about being able to pull information together across multiple systems, across complex asset classes, to really understand what your exposure is to help meet regulatory requirements. It could be everything from FATCA to Dodd-Frank to Solvency II or AIMFID. So there are a lot of firms that are focusing on solving that particular business problem because it creates a real challenge within their organizations as well. Operational efficiency is all about automation and management by exception, so that teams can really focus their day-to-day activities on answering business problems and not double-checking to make sure information is accurate. That's even further noticed by performance teams that are more increasingly required to support very complex front office requirements, as well as management reporting requirements and client reporting requirements across a global enterprise. So that's typically a combination of both technology but also operational focus as well. And the third part is really focused on client relations. How do you get the right information to the right people at the right time on the right platforms that they're looking for, and enable the operations to be able to respond quickly to client requests or even RFP requests as you're looking to from a sales and marketing standpoint.
Correct, Bob. So you have identified three big challenges, and from a solution provider's perspective, how do you plan to help them overcome these challenges?
Well, the Innova Investment Data Management Analytics Platform is targeting those particular areas. So we help organizations aggregate information from those multiple systems, again, supporting the very complex asset classes, so they can get a look-through, as an example, to understand what their total exposure is to an issuer, no matter how the funds are structured. We can help them from that standpoint. And from a performance standpoint, providing enterprise-wide performance measurement systems that can help solve front office requirements such as attribution across both equity and fixed income attribution, which is a new offering that we have, as well as having that same information flow into the GIPS performance standards as well. And the key to it is integrating data visualization into that whole process so that everyone has a clear understanding of exactly what data occurred at what time, and giving them flexibility to be able to customize the views of the information from both helping to automate the operations but also delivering that information to internal and external business users.
Again, with your experience of dealing with these clients over all these years and seeing the evolving landscape, how do you expect the client and vendor relationship to evolve over the next 5 years?
Well, it's a great question, asking over the next 5 years, because it's already evolved drastically over the last 3. I think what our traditional consumers, that we would work with, operations and technology people at investment management and wealth management firms, what they're seeing is that they're being driven by both their internal clients and external clients to provide more richer, deeper information, quicker, and at a lower cost. And they sound like they're very mutually exclusive trends, but they actually, come together very clearly. And one of our striving goals, working with our clients then, is to make sure that we can deliver solutions that solve these business problems as quickly as possible, without major implementation overhead, without major deployment, and allow them flexibility to be responsive to their internal and external client needs. And as we continue working with our clients over time, taking a lot of those lessons learned and insights that we get from our clients and continuing to build that out into the product so that we continue continue to build those very tight relationships with our clients over time.
Touching on transparency, there's a lot of talk about IBOR in the buy-side space. Why do you think this is? And quite importantly, when and if do you think this is going to really take off?
Certainly. I think IBOR is one particular flavor of data aggregation, and there are multiple different flavors, and a lot depends on the particular needs of a business. So one flavor of aggregation is consolidating information, aggregating information at an end-of-day basis, but at least allowing the business to be able to get an idea on what their exposure looks like and ensure the accuracy of that information from a reporting standpoint. Some firms are going the next step, which is really the investment book of record, or IBOR, which is looking at intraday views of that data, near real time, as trades are being proposed and trades are being executed within the organization across multiple business lines or multiple asset classes, being able to pull that information together to help support the front office, so portfolio managers can make more informed decisions, but also other business needs such as exposure reporting across the organization, or even post-trade compliance checks as well. You know, firms may be using one system for equity, one for fixed income. How do you pull it together and ensure that you're hitting your mandates and overall risk tolerance across the organization? So, you know, it's not every firm that's going down that path, but there are certainly larger, more complex organizations where that's a very large driving goal of theirs.
Bob, that was most informative. Thank you so much for coming by today. Do you have any closing thoughts?
Well, I'm looking forward to attending TSAM and having conversations with people about a lot of these complex issues. I think the more that we understand what their requirements are, the more that people understand what our capabilities are, I think it's a good relationship building opportunity.
Bob, thank you very much for coming to our studios today.
Thank you very much for
Pleasure meeting
inviting
you.
me.
Sure.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.